One more time, welcome to Homo Politicus on the Enterprise TV. And we're tackling an issue today which is of concern to both us and I dare say to you out there. Appeal Court judgment vindicating Abure, good omen for Labour Party. I hope you got that right. You see, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Mr. Justice Kayode Ariwola, is quoted as saying that Nigerians were the most litigious people on the planet because they put the judiciary under pressure. Do you agree with this assertion? Now, the Lagos State chapter of the Labour Party, LP, says the affirmation of Mr. Julius Abure as the national chairman of the party is a good omen for the party's survival and fortune. Of course, you and I know that in politics, the key thing is interest. And a politician, we are told, is ready to die for his interest than for his right. Know that Lamidi Apapa faction of the party went to court challenging Julius Abure's chairmanship. Politics is a zero-sum game where a gain for one side entails a corresponding loss for the other side. Now, do I see the matter going all the way to the apex? What follows is the conversation. So let's go there. My discussant this morning is Chartered Accountant, Public Affairs Analyst, Tumi Olowe. Tumi, I greet you.
Good morning, Citizen George.
I know you've been following this story keenly. Are you surprised at where we are?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you agree with the Labour Party?
Well, to a certain extent, yes. Because the Labour Party came into the Nigerian consciousness. They've been there all along, but in the last election, they came in as a force...
A greenhorn.
A greenhorn, a force that was going to break the dichotomy of APC, PDP. But so far...
APC, PDP's stranglehold.
On the Nigerian polity. But so far, they've not shown that they are different from the rest. Like Labour, like they said, same 5 fingers of a leper. And it's kind of unfortunate because they rode in on a swell of goodwill of a whole lot of young people that wanted a change from status quo. And you know, what it does is, if at the end of the day, from all that has been happening in the past and recently this week, it's going to break a whole lot of young people's hearts to find out that there is no utopia. So, anywhere, you have to sit down and learn the game. That's the thing about life.
Learn the ropes.
Learn the rules so that you can play the game very well. There is no miracle in politics. You need to work for what you're doing.
I'm surprised that Labour Party joined the fray, even as its roof was on fire.
Well, they to a very large extent masked with the euphoria that was surrounding them. They masked the division in-house. You know, it was after the election and
things became
and after the Supreme Court ruling, a whole lot of things. We've had them giving report of account of election donation, but somehow it has not really been an account the way it should be given. And then in the past...
So we're talking about a figure here, 2.3 billion or...
something like that, but you know, it's not because if you give an account and you spent more than you collected, then an explanation also had to be given for the deficit. Was it an overdraft from the bank? Was it a loan from the bank? Was it a loan from well-wishers, or the providers gave those services on credit, which is a sore point that was never addressed and has not been addressed. Then we have the chairman himself arrested a couple of weeks back for Abure himself for corruption charges.
Yeah.
And then in these last couple of days, some major influencers in the party have been throwing accusation around themselves and counter accusation. So really, you now sit back and like, what's the difference? If all this noise you've made of being holier than thou is just all noise.
And your tail is soil.
It's soil. So yes, maybe what they need to do, if they can start putting the house in order, is to have a united front. Of course, there is no how you're going to have...
So they can march forward.
Yes, there's no how you're going to have human beings in a group that you will have conflicts. Yeah. So they should have a good conflict resolution process in place that they would respect and adhere to. Because part of why PDP didn't really do well in the last election was because it couldn't manage the internal conflict. Yeah. Which, to a reasonable extent, despite the rumors going around the APC, they were able to manage their own internal divisions, and it pushed them to Aso Rock. Right. Now, for me, my own concern with Labour Party is it's good when you have the goodwill of the young people, which we know to be the future of the country.
And they have the numbers.
So what they need to do is really provide a genuine platform that is not yes, and make it work for the benefit of the country, because really you need a good opposition that can transition into government. APC did that by the amalgamation of different parties that had, over a period of time, built a base for themselves, which now came together and against all odds pushed out, because in Nigeria we believe that you cannot win the incumbent, but it happened. So it goes to show that it is not impossible.
To me, maybe in Africa, you can
maybe in Africa
unseat an incumbent.
Yes. So good stuff for them. The appeal court is not the last.
I was going to
it's not the last.
I was going to ask if you think the matter will stop at the appellate court.
Yes. They've not been. I don't think they've been able to. From all I can see, they've not been able to reach out to the other faction to come together, because really it's something that they can resolve and get the courts withdrawn from the get the case withdrawn from the court. But the body language and indication shows that they've not been able to do that. So there's a tendency, and in the next couple of days we will see if the Apapa faction would go to the Supreme Court.
All right. But does it not scandalize you that a supposed new party, joining the fray in a peculiar environment like Nigeria's, can afford to become factionalized from day one?
If you go back, Labour Party itself has been an SPV all along.
As what?
A special purpose vehicle. It was used by Mimiko in Edo State. It's been used a couple of times by disgruntled politicians in...
Even so, it became factionalized.
Yeah, it did.
The faction became
yes, when Mimiko used it to get into government, then he went back to PDP. And then the factions now formed the Zenith Labour Party, which I think is... The resolution will still be there for anybody that's willing to pick up. Apart from the two major parties, most of these other small parties most times make themselves available for anybody that wants to use their platform for. So when you see somebody that is disgruntled in PDP or APC goes over to and then depending on the cloud that he has, he uses it to get concession from his party. What I think Labour Party wanted to do was to stop being an SPV and become an established party. And that is, I think, should be easy for them, given the broad-based support that they have amongst a whole lot of young people across the country.
And these young people don't have the patience you and I have.
That is where the elders in the party now need to work.
I'm missing it.
I'm missing it. And then mentor these young ones that, look, politics don't happen this way. And the best way to do it is give those young people the opportunities to contest for political posts at the grassroots so that they see how these things work. That there's no magic in governance. You need to work. You need to put in the work. Local government, House of assemblies in states, build a network that you can now use to keep gathering people to your side. But it was like, let's get the presidency and then everything. Well, really, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. If you get the presidency and you don't have a support base, you would crumble. Yeah. Because you still need to work with the National Assembly and the states. We will see that from what happened in the dying days of the last government. There were some constitutional amendments that were passed at the National Assembly that were supposed to be taken around state, because the Constitution says if you're going to amend the Constitution, there has to be of
24
states.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of 36. But the ones that were really cogent to what we've been crying about restructuring, we are rejected by state assemblies, with the governors being in the background pushing that those amendments don't go through.
Let me tell you a story. It's not a tedious one. It's straightforward, but you have to understand the nuance of the story. You know, there's law on one hand, there's justice on the other. A former U.S. Supreme Court Justice, Oliver Wendell Holmes, once chastised a litigant before him. My friend, this is a court of law and not a court of justice. You are looking at the law on one hand and the justice on the other. So the appellate court vindicating Abure, perhaps to the Apapa faction, might be law in motion, but Apapa might still be waiting for justice. Well, so we are not quite home yet.
We're not quite home yet. And the judge is actually right, because it's a court of law. And the accused can get the law to be on his side, because it is what you can prove in a court of law that the ruling will be based on. It is not about emotion. It is about facts and the laws that can be established. So it's right. It's a court of law, not a court of justice. Because if not, a whole lot of criminals will get to be released, because
those with fat pockets,
good lawyers that knows the law, would plead the case for them and they will go scot-free. But it's glaring that, look, these people are guilty. But if you cannot establish it based on the law, there's nothing you can do. So for me,
justice in this case would not have been served.
But you see, according to the law, justice has been served. So for me...
So if it goes to the apex court, you would assume something was missing.
Yes, but it is what is in front of the Supreme Court justice that they will rule on, not sentiment, not hearsay. It has to be placed on the table, and it has to be supported with the law.
To me, that Nigerian politicians have become Machiavellian should be worrisome to you. Meaning they must get everything by all and any means.
Well, you see, you can't give what you don't have. And you will say that Toba fun were loko. That is, if you give a madman a hole, it would scrape the sand because that's the natural movement of a hole. Now, we have a whole lot of Nigerian citizens that cannot think for themselves. We don't like taking responsibilities. So we're looking for people.
It's an African thing.
Well, maybe, but I mean, I know that much about Nigeria.
From Cape to Cairo, you have pockets of instability, like this one we are discussing.
So we look for people to push our responsibility to. Whatever you say, you start hearing people asking you, so who are we voting for? We are all adults in this country. We have the same access to the information that is going all about. And then you'll be asking me who you should vote for. So that is what the politicians are capitalizing on in the country. Ignorance. I think it's deliberate ignorance, because really nobody is stopping anybody from getting the right information to make
the informed decisions.
Yes.
Do you see us getting it at the end of the day? Would we get it right someday?
If we lay our bed the right way, we'll get it. But if we don't,
do you see Labour Party regarding these troubles showing the way?
So far, no, because there are a whole lot of pockets of chaos in Labour Party as it were right now. And they are not managing it. The elders are keeping quiet. Not calling their younger colleagues to order. If you allow, they said, when two brothers fight, a stranger will inherit their house. So when you allow your base to start fighting among themselves, and you're not calling them to order, and you are trying to stand aloof because you don't want to really hit the nail on the head, the house is going to come down.
Sometimes when you hit the nail on the head, you tend to want to break the head of the nail.
Well,
no, don't worry about that. To me, do you think Abure, as declared by the appellate court as the rightful chairman of the Labour Party, do you see him getting home and dry, considering that he has another case pending?
Well, it's a tall one, because we've not even started the case, the corruption case. The treasurer, is it treasurer or secretary?
The treasurer,
has laid grievous allegations against the leaders of the party, and she has been suspended, which also calls to question: is she making wrong allegations, or they are trying to silence her?
And for that matter, should she have been suspended before the
it just shows that at the end of the day, Labour Party is not different from every other party that
same of the same,
because we are all Nigerians. It runs through us. Lack of accountability. We don't want to take responsibility for our actions. We are always looking for the witch across the road to blame for whatever
scapegoat.
To scapegoat. So really, it's a lot of weighty allegations of embezzlement and forgery, which should not be. for me, if the party was really serious, they should have suspended the chairman along with the treasurer so that they can actually really investigate the matter and come out with a clear position. But what they've done is to take side and push the woman aside.
To me, but you know that politics determines who has the power, not who has the truth.
Yes, it determines who has the power. But you know, in a political party within the context of a particular society, given that you portrayed yourself as upholding all the rules of fair game and everything, and you are showing a different color, people might not talk now, but they're keeping those things for you. Your opponents, you're only giving your opponents ammunition to use against you. And in a society where conspiracy and propaganda thrives a lot, you are shooting yourself in the foot.
So gets to a point where you ask, physician, heal thyself.
That's it.
A quotation comes to mind here. Plato, the Greek philosopher, said, mankind will never see the end of trouble until lovers of wisdom hold power, or holders of power become lovers of wisdom. Makes sense.
It makes sense, but the way the world is...
It's not possible. Not possible.
It is. It's just that we're on a fast lane now. Public validation is the order of the day. So, and when you pander to the mob, all this, it doesn't work with the mob.
Yeah.
So, since it's the social media era, and we are just looking for validation of people that don't even know us, that we don't know, this will work.
Okay. To me, I hear we must apply the brakes here.
All right.
But not before thanking you for your presence to me, Olowe. Many thanks for your time.
Okay.
Well, our business is to mold opinion and allow you, the viewer, to make up your minds. But to Labour Party, it is a warm welcome to politics. But have you heard this before? Wrestling has rules, boxing has rules, football has rules. So does politics. Is it possible to play politics in Nigeria, our Nigeria, by the rules? Let's leave the question hanging there until the next program. I'm out of here, but on behalf of the Backroom Boys, I say thanks for watching. Bye-bye now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.